Alright, so jumping straight into one of the first things that you guys need to be aware of is that you need to make sure that you pick a platform. And by this what I mean is that when it comes to building an e-commerce store, you're going to need to obviously have a platform where you're going to showcase your products, where customers are going to be able to buy them from you. And there's various different ways that you can do this, but the three main platforms that I used when it came to building my e-commerce business was eBay, Amazon, and Shopify. The initial platform that I personally started selling on was eBay, and I was able to grow my sales to around $30, $40, $50, $60,000 every single month. And then eventually I branched over to both Amazon and Shopify as a way for me to diversify my streams of income. But what I want to quickly do is go through one of the main things that I've noticed when it comes to selling on all of these different platforms so that you have a full understanding of what you can expect depending on which one you want to pick. So starting off with Amazon, one of the main things that I've noticed is that the process to getting your products listed can be kind of difficult if you're a beginner, but once you start getting reviews and you start getting sales, it can be a great way for you to bring in a lot of revenue. And the main reason for this is that Amazon is the #1 most visited e-commerce website in the entire world, which means that if you're able to figure out exactly what you need to do to get your product in front of as many people that go onto Amazon as possible, you're obviously going to put yourself in an amazing position when it comes to bringing in a decent amount of income into your business. And moving on to Shopify, one of the main things that I've learned with this platform is that it's a great way for you to take control of your e-commerce business, but it does require some sort of an advertising budget when you get started. So for those of you that don't know exactly how Shopify works, it's essentially a platform that allows you to build your own e-commerce website. And in my opinion, I would say that this is one of the best ways to build an e-com store over the long term, because you're going to be able to do what you want to do it how you want to do it without another company looking over your shoulder. But in saying that, one of the main responsibilities that you're going to have is that you're going to need to figure out exactly how you're going to get people onto your website in the first place. But the more time and effort that you do put in when it comes to understanding how paid ads work, again, this is going to put your e-com store in a great position when it comes to being able to generate revenues and profits. And finally, moving over to eBay, one of the main things that I've learned when it comes to selling on this platform is that it's a very simple process when it comes to getting started, and it's also very simple when it comes to getting ranked in the search results, but you do need to deal with a few scammy buyers. And by this what I mean is that 1 out of 20 different customers are going to try to scam you when it comes to taking advantage of the buyer-seller protections that eBay have in place. So what they might do on some occasions is open up a return case and send you back an item that you never sent out to them, or what they might do is send you back a completely empty box, and because there's tracking to show that you received the item back, eBay is automatically going to take the money out of your account and give it back to the customer. So this is definitely something that I've had to deal with over my journey, but because it is very simple when it comes to getting your products ranked in the search results by using eBay SEO, the money that you're going to lose on all of those fraudulent transactions, you're definitely going to be able to make it up with all of the legitimate customers that go onto eBay to buy things. But whichever platform that you decide to sell on, after doing your research, the next thing that you need to do is obviously find a product to sell. And depending on which platform that you decide to sell on, it's also going to have an effect on how you're going to do your product research. But if you are considering to use Alibaba, when it comes to finding a supplier, what you can do is head over to the home page, click on products, and this is the page that you're going to see. From here, what I tend to do is click on the top ranking category, and from this point they're going to break it down into all of these different categories, whether apparel, home and garden, consumer electronics, sports and entertainment, etc, etc. And you're just going to scroll through and find whatever category you're looking to base your e-com store around, and then click into it, and then from there you're going to be able to see all of the different trending products that's within that category. So what I'm going to do is just scroll through and click on a random one. Alright, so I came across all of these types of items that look like vacuum cleaner bags, and there's so many different options to choose from. And according to Alibaba.com, they're saying that they're currently a top ranking product. But before you even think about selling any item that you find on Alibaba, you need to make sure that you double check to see if it's selling well on the platform that you're considering to sell on. So for example, if you're considering to sell on eBay, you may want to use a software called Zik Analytics, because this is going to help you identify if the product is actually being purchased and searched for on the eBay platform. So all you need to do is to simply type in the name of the item that you're considering to sell right here. And right there, Zik Analytics is able to show us that over $35,000 was spent on this particular item in the last 30 days, and it also has a successful listing rate of 82%. And when it comes to me doing product research to make sure that an item is selling well on Amazon, the tool that I like to use is called Helium 10, which in my opinion is one of the best Amazon product research tools that are out there, because it's so simple to use. Once you've signed up for an account by clicking the link in my description down below, you're going to be able to use the Google Chrome extension tool. After you've typed in the item that you're searching searching for, and then click on X-ray Amazon product research, and then it's then going to show you how much money has been spent on this item on Amazon. And as you guys can see over here, it's over $2.7 million. So again, there's so many different ways that you can do product research. I just wanted to give you a simplified version of exactly what you need to know. But once you have found an item that you're happy to sell, one of the next things that you need to do is find a supplier, because it isn't as simple as going onto Alibaba and just picking any random supplier, because if you make that mistake, you may end up getting scammed. There's certain things that you need to make sure that you're looking out for to make sure that you're picking the highest quality supplier that's going to be beneficial for your business over the long term. And I'm going to show you a couple things that you need to be aware of. So just jumping back onto Alibaba, I've just typed in the name of the item that we're looking at. You're going to scroll down and you're going to see all of these different options that you can choose from. Now, one of the first things that you need to make sure that you're looking out for when it comes to choosing any one of these suppliers is to make sure that the supplier has been there for minimum 5 to 6 years. So as you can see with the top one that's in the results, we can see that this one's been there for 15 years. And the reason why it's good to make sure that they've been there for a long amount of time is that you're going to have less issues when it comes to them trying to scam you, or you're going to have less issues when it comes to them selling you low quality goods. So if I was thinking about selling this product and I did want to go with this supplier, for the fact that they've been on Alibaba for 15 years, there's a low chance of me having any real issue with them. But one of the second things that you always need to make sure that you look out for is whether they're verified or not. And if you do see verified next to any one of these different suppliers, for example, this one has it, this one has it, this one doesn't have it, is that a third party company has gone to the factory to make sure that they're selling the items that they claim. So you don't necessarily need to use a verified supplier, but of course if you pick one, it's going to reduce your chances of having to deal with any potential headaches. And one of the final things that you need to make sure that you look out for, that I don't really see that many other YouTubers talking about, is you want to make sure that whatever supplier that you decide to go with accepts trade assurance. And for those of you that are unsure of exactly what trade assurance is because you've never heard of it before, it's basically Alibaba's payment method that you're going to be able to use directly on the website. But the thing that differentiates it from things like PayPal, etc., is that when you send the money using trade assurance, the money is going to be held until the supplier shipped out the goods and when you say that you've received the goods and you're happy with them. So it's a great way for you to protect yourself when it comes to you sending money to someone that you've never met before that lives on the other side of the world. And when it comes to you finding suppliers that do accept trade assurance, what you need to do is click on this option over here. And from there, Alibaba is going to remove the suppliers that don't accept it, which means it's going to be a lot easier for you to pick whichever one you want to pick for the e-com business that you're trying to build. And this actually now brings me on to the fourth step of this entire process, which is that you need to start contacting all of the suppliers that meet your criteria. And the reason why you need to contact multiple different suppliers at the same time instead of just one of them is that you want to be able to compare prices, you want to be able to compare how quick they respond back to you, and you want to be able to give yourself the best chance of making sure that you're not picking the wrong supplier from day one. So what I tend to do is pre-write an email making sure that I'm asking all the necessary questions. For example, do they have a minimum order quantity? How long is it going to take for me to receive the goods? Are they willing to give me a discount if I order a certain amount of products? Just a general email to make sure that me and them are both on the same page. Then what I do is just copy that email, come over here and click on this option, paste the message in there, and do the exact same thing for every other supplier that I want to get a response from. And once you do start getting responses and you filtered out which one that you want to go with and you're happy with the price and you're ready to pay the money using trade assurance, the next step after that is to obviously import the products into your country. And of course this isn't the final step, because now that you've got the items, you need to know exactly what you need to do when it comes to listing them in the best possible way, making sure that you're taking the best quality pictures, and just making sure that you've got everything set up in terms of knowing exactly how to ship your items in the most effective way to your customers. But if you want to see me make a full detailed video going through everything you need to know after you've received the products, in terms of the import taxes that you might need to pay, in terms of how to do things in the best way so that you're not paying a lot of postage when it comes to shipping the orders out to your customers, and just everything in between, then put in the comments down below, do the ECOM video, and I'll get onto that ASAP. And if you also want to watch another YouTube video that I made not too long ago where I break down some other important things that you need to know when it comes to starting an e-commerce business, things that I didn't really mention in today's video, then make sure you click the link right there. Check that out straight after this one because it's already helped out so many people and I'm sure that it's going to help you out too. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one. Make sure you stay safe out there. Peace.